all that. So Representative Tsongas is always outraised and outspent me, but I don't believe I'm going to be outworked. I do think that people talk a lot about needing to have constitutional amendments for term limits and things like that. I don't think we need that. I'm not a big believer in these types of amendments to the Constitution. But we do need campaign finance reform. However, I will say this, and I'll segue right into the Supreme Court Citizens United decision. I support that decision because it levels the playing field. Now, I haven't taken any money or benefited from any super PACs or Citizens United. But if my opponent can take money from Planned Parenthood and Emily's Listed Unions, then I should be able to take money from other groups as well. Thank you.
Ms. Tsongas, 2 minutes. Well, I absolutely believe that public financing is becoming ever more necessary. It has always been important, as the role of money has played an ever-increasing role in elections, but it's clearer now than ever that we do need public financing. I think the Citizens United decision was absolutely outrageous and has led to untold sums of undisclosed amounts of money whose origin we do not know coming into the election process. We are not talking about $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. We're talking about $10,000, $500,000, untold amounts of money to influence the outcome of elections. I support the Disclose Act. I actually voted for a discharge petition because my Republican colleagues would not bring it to the floor, which at the very least would say this is where the money is coming from. So the average voter could understand who was paying for the ad on television and help them understand what the motivations of those particular ads were. I am not opposed to a constitutional amendment, but Jamie Eldridge is here in the audience who has played such an important role in the State House. But as we talked, I said I want to see how this election unfolds and to see which of the many amendments that have been introduced really make the most sense. Obviously, money is playing, we see it in the presidential election, we see it in the Senate elections, the House elections across this country. It is influencing elections in a way that has never before been the case. So I absolutely support the Disclose Act. I think the Citizens United case is outrageous and would look to see what an appropriate constitutional amendment would be.
Okay, Mr. Golnik, you have 1 minute.
Again, I don't have a problem with the Citizens United Supreme Court decision. Representative Tsongas, your campaign outspent me 7-1 last election, and probably double that if you include your third-party expenditures. So, look, right now we have to identify our donors who donate over $250. If you want to have us identify who donates to our campaigns, we certainly can. We supply that to the FEC via the Schedule B every quarter. Not happy to do that. But again, we need to level the playing field. I'm all for campaign finance reform, but as long as Representative Tsongas, you're going to take money from Planned Parenthood and Emily's List and third parties list, I'll be happy to, and I don't know if they will. I'll be happy to take money from any of these other special interest groups.
Ms. Tsongas, 1 minute. I have to say I'm a proud supporter of Planned Parenthood. I believe that a woman's right to choose is fundamental to a woman's freedom. Access to appropriate family planning services is critical to a woman's health, to a family's health, to their economic health, and their emotional health. And proud supporter of Planned Parenthood. And I think there is a big difference. We're talking Citizens United, we're talking about vast sums of money. We all report the contributions were made. We want that same kind of transparency for the companies that are now in Citizens United able to give and hide their contributions.
Okay, we have 1 more minute for each candidate on this topic. Mr. Golnik.
Since you brought up women and your support of women, Representative Tsongas, this may be coming later, and you accused me of having a war on women, which I personally think is shameful. I think it's more of a reflection of your inability to run on the record and stay away from issues that you probably don't want to talk about. Let me just state for the record, 3 of the 4 most important women in my life, people in my life, are women. My mom, my wife, and my daughter. My mom and wife have worked their whole lives. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the presence of 2 strong women in my life. My daughter, fortunately, has a very good role model in both of them. And to somehow say that I have a war on women or anything else along those lines, again, is just absolutely ridiculous. And if you want to talk about a war on women, let's talk about the policies that have come out of this administration. The one that you have supported 95% of the time with your votes in Congress. Policies coming out of there making the women, making it harder on women. The share of the debt is over $50,000 per woman. Poverty rates for women are the highest in 17 years. Unemployment is up for women from 7% to 8.1%, and for young women from 12.5% to 14.4%.
Time is up.
That's a war on women.
Time is up. Ms. Tsongas, 1 minute.
Well, I think it's so critically important that women be part of the political process. I think we saw as our colleagues across the aisle were holding a hearing on what was the appropriate insurance coverage, there was not a single woman at the table. So it's very important that women be part of the political process, and where they are at the table. I also want to talk about the impact of the proposed Medicare cuts that are in the Ryan plan. My colleague, Mr. Golnik, called the Ryan plan 2 years ago fantastic. Today, he says it would be a good start. The reality is it would turn Medicare into voucher care with diminishing ability to cover a person's health care needs as they move into their senior years, and would disproportionately impact women, because women, we are fortunate enough that we live longer and are going to need the coverage that Medicare provides.